All right. Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Today is September 18th, 2023. I apologize to those of you who thought I was going to go on at 8 o'clock, but I got back from some evening exercise early, and I have an early meeting in the morning for my 9 to 5. You know, my 9 to 5 still pays the bills. So I figured I'd start the stream early, have some dinner early, and get to bed at a good hour. So this is week 3 of college football. So I'm gonna play. I made up. I make these intros up as I go along for every game, and I made one up for this one. This one will look a little different. Let's see who could see what's different about this one. I think that the videographers, is that the right word? The videographers out there will be able to see it. Let me make sure I can see myself on YouTube. I see some eyeballs here. That means that everything is broadcasting perfectly and the technology is working the way we want it to. There goes an ad. Everyone, please smash that like button if you haven't. For however long you come in, please smash that like button. The likes are free. They don't cost you anything except a click. Also, shout out to Bo Lytle. Respect is earned, but please consider subscribing to the channel. Let me see who that is. Yep, it is our resident. It's Benedict Arnold, our resident super fan. Our resident Buckeye / Colorado Buffaloes prime time coach, prime fan, Abdul Gaines. Abdul Gaines, thank you for gracing my channel once again, even though you were once a part of our proud fan base and you went down to Columbus to the Scarlet and Gray. Okay, let me play the intro. I'm not going to be on super long tonight unless folks come in the chat and are feeling a little bit talkative like Abdul Gaines. So I'm going to play the intro and then I'm going to get started and I'm going to talk about the prediction for Saturday's matchup between our Michigan Wolverines and the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. You know, it's weird. It's still weird that Rutgers is in our Big Ten conference. They play that commercial during the games where you start on the I think you start in Nebraska because as of now, Nebraska is the westernmost team in the Big Ten. And then they go east, they go to Iowa, Chicago, Illinois, and then they end with Rutgers and Maryland. But next year, they're going to have to remake that ad to incorporate UCLA and USC and Washington and Oregon. Abdul Gaines, is Oregon coming in too? Yeah, so now the Big Ten's going to be from coast to coast, which is freaking bizarre. Anyway, I'll see you guys on the other side of the intro here. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Big Discussions 76 Sports. My name is Dr. Anwar Youssef Dunbar. I am a Michigan alum, and I am a Michigan football fan. I won't profess to be an insider. When I first started this channel a couple years ago, someone I think got frustrated over something else, and he said, I thought you were an insider. You made yourself out to be an insider. No, I never said I was an insider. I am an alum. I am a scientist, and I am a Michigan football fan. So that intro, what was different about that intro is I used actual live footage. I went to the first game against East Carolina, not Eastern Carolina. They like to be called East Carolina. And I used some actual footage, some live footage in that intro there. And I intentionally put Coach Harbaugh as the last image because before the Rutgers versus Michigan slide, because Jim is coming back from the 3-game suspension. Speaking of which, for this stream, I have Jim over here, over there. I have Coach Glenn Boschembeckler over here. So I might use this setup for the rest of the live streams for this year. So let's do a quick recap of what's happened thus far for our Michigan Wolverines. It was a crazy weekend. We had our game. Our game had some unexpected surprises. It didn't go exactly according to plan or exactly according to the pregame prediction. And then I think most everybody was up late at night watching what was happening in Boulder, Colorado. I hung for as long as I could, but I heard my mom's voice saying, make sure you go to church. Make sure you get to church. Make sure you go to church. So I hung until about 1 o'clock and I went to bed. And Colorado State was up at that point. So I figured, okay, Colorado State is about to lay that first L on Colorado. And then I wake up Sunday morning. Coach Prime worked his magic again. Shador worked his magic again. And Colorado is 3-0. Hey, what are the chances? I'm going to talk about our 2021 Michigan team in a moment. But what are the chances of Colorado having a Cinderella season like we had back in 2021, where they start the season unranked and then gradually march their way through and end up in the college football playoff at the end? What are the chances of that happening? Because right now there's a lot of magic in Boulder surrounding Coach Prime, and they are the talk of college football. And well, what are the chances? Anyway, but this is not a Coach Prime stream. This is a Michigan football stream. So let me jump into that and talk about what's going to happen next Saturday. But first, let's talk about how the Wolverines have done in the first 3 games. If you're watching on the playback, if you come in, again, please smash that like button. Please consider subscribing to the channel. If you want to donate something to the channel, my Cash App and PayPal are here. The super chat is live. And if you're watching on the playback, you can also leave a super thanks. So the Wolverines are 3-0. I don't think it's the 3-0 that any of us expected, with all of the talk over spring and the summer with what was coming back on offense, and JJ having a full year with the team, and him being healthy, and him being able to work out with everybody, and him not having to battle for the starting quarterback position. I think we're all thankful that the team is 3-0, but it's not the 3-0 that we all expected. I think we expected our team to blow the doors off each of these 3 opponents the way our team did last year. So Michigan opened with a 30-3 victory over East Carolina. I was there in the big house. They followed that up with a 35-7 victory over the UNLV Running Rebels. I will always consider them to be the Running Rebels. And then they followed that up with last week's 31-6 victory over the Bowling Green Falcons. Michigan was predicted to win each of these games by 36, 37, and 38 points. And they didn't fulfill those predictions or those prophecies. Saturday's game was a little bit tricky because of the interceptions that JJ McCarthy threw, and the running game doesn't look exactly like it did last season, and it looks like they're still working out the chemistry on the offensive line. Some players are gone, like Olu Oluwatimi, and the Nugent kid is in there at center. And it looks like things haven't quite gelled yet, and the defenses have been loading the box. And so things don't look exactly like we all thought they would have. The defense, the front seven looks good. At least the line and the edge rushers look good. They've gotten in the backfield of our opponents the last 2 weeks. There are some questions about the secondary. Some players are out and we haven't seen them yet. I'm thinking about Will Johnson and one of the other kids. So we're 3-0. It's not the 3-0 we expected, but the appetizer portion of the schedule is over. And now we are about to get into the meat and potatoes of the season. So let's take a quick look at the rankings, because I want to start this stream, and it's not going to be a long stream, with a question. So far, do we look like the number 2 team in the country? Does Michigan look like the number 2 team in the country? This is the AP Top 25 poll. This was released yesterday. Georgia is still ranked number 1. We are holding on to our number 2 spot. Texas moved up to number 3. Florida State has moved up to number 4. I believe each of those teams have displaced the Ohio State University. Let's see. USC is number 5. I'll just do the top 10. USC is number 5. Ohio State is number 6. Penn State is number 7. That's going to be a big game in about 2 months. Washington is number 8. Notre Dame is number 9. And Oregon is number 10. There's a big game this weekend between Notre Dame and Ohio State. And let's just keep an eye on Colorado, because Colorado is at number 19. So can they have a Cinderella season like the one we had a couple of years ago? Okay. So are we the number 2 team? Have we looked like the number 2 team? So going back to JJ's 3 turnovers, his 3 interceptions, I think most people were alarmed to see that to some degree, but I think everyone was thankful that it came against Bowling Green. And also we think that it happened at the right time. So JJ wants to lead the team. He wants to be the best quarterback he can be. So he will probably rebound from this and get back to the form he was in the first 2 games. So, and it was better that he had this type of thing happen against an opponent like this, as opposed to one of the opponents that we're going to match up with in Big Ten play, where those 3 interceptions would have had much larger ramifications. Okay, so I'm going to get to the prediction for Saturday's game. But before I do that, let's take a look back at the last 2 years. Michigan has pretty much owned Rutgers, aside from that 1 year under Brady Hoke. Brady Hoke's last year when they stole that game out in Piscataway. I think that was the game where Amara Darbo's catch was called incomplete, but it was actually a catch. So Michigan has pretty much owned the series. Wait a minute. Did someone say Brady Hoke?
We understand what Michigan football means and what Michigan football is. We will always be about the team at Michigan. This is never going to be about Brady Hoke.
There's a little humor there. Everyone, please smash that like button if you haven't. The likes are free and they help with the engagement. If you're watching live, please smash that like button. If you're watching on the playback, please smash that like button as well. Yeah, so we all know that Michigan was a new team coming out of the pandemic. I don't know if Abdul Gaines is there, but he always busts my chops saying that Michigan quit during the 2022 season, but they had too many positives. But Michigan was resurrected in 2021, and Michigan was led by Cade McNamara in the 2021 Rutgers-Michigan game. Michigan won that game. That was an interesting game because we lost Ronnie Bell in the opener. And it wasn't quite clear who our number one wide receiver was going to be at that point. And so the passing game under Cade McNamara just kind of gradually unfolded, and we leaned heavily on Hassan Haskins and Blake Corum. And so that Rutgers game back in 2021 was actually a bit of a scare for us as the fan base and the team. And Michigan won that game, which was a squeaker, 20-13. They won that game 20-13. Hey, Alonzo, everyone, let's salute Alonzo Hall, the All-Star Advisor. Alonzo, thank you for stopping through. And Abdul Gaines says, yes, they did quit. We didn't quit in 2020. There was a pandemic going on, Abdul. So Michigan won in 2021, 20-13. And they came very, very close to losing that game. Wait a minute. Did someone say Cade McNamara? Did someone say Cade McNamara? I said Cade McNamara.
I mean, I'm a Big Ten championship winning starting quarterback, and that's how I see it.
Of course, we know Cade is over in Iowa right now. He's helping to lead the resurgence of the Hawkeyes. So Michigan won a close game against Rutgers in 2021. And we know that as the season went on, the team started to gel, and the passing game started to click a little bit more than it had before. JJ got in gradually on third down, and to give the defense a different look, but also to get him some time. I think Coach Harbaugh was worried about losing his phenom quarterback at that time, so we're seeing the rotation of Cade and JJ. We know that JJ won the position. He won the quarterback competition in 2022, which was last year. And Michigan went out to Piscataway, New Jersey, to play the Scarlet Knights. And they won that game decisively, 52-17. Okay, so we had a squeaker and a scare in 2021. JJ took over as the quarterback in 2022. The defense didn't miss a beat, losing Aiden Hutchinson and David Ojabo, and they beat the Scarlet Knights handily 52-17 out in Piscataway. So now, what are the Wolverines going to do this year? What are they going to do this season? Especially with what we saw in the first three games, especially with JJ's struggles in the last game. And we typically have the upper hand over the Scarlet Knights, but we know that Greg Schiano coaches a disciplined team. They always play good defense. They're physical. What are the Wolverines going to do this week? What's JJ going to do this week? We know that Vance Bedford is very bullish on JJ.
He's a dangerous fellow. First of all, he has a pretty good arm. He has great poise, but what scares me about him is that his mobility.
There's always the threat of JJ's mobility. What else about JJ, Vance?
Throwing the ball on the run is pretty accurate. So most defensive coaches, they like a guy who's like the Statue of Liberty, that he can't scramble. So when I pressure him, I don't have to worry about him running. JJ has the escapability that makes you nervous when you pressure him.
Okay, So, what's Michigan going to do this week? So this is another short piece. This is a prediction from, I believe, CBS. It's a short read. I'm going to read through it, and then I'm going to wrap the stream up. Please smash that like button if you haven't. The likes are free, and they help me and the channel out tremendously. Yeah, this one is from USA Today. Michigan versus Rutgers football odds, tips, and betting trends. Again, I'm not a gambler. Here on my channel, I don't encourage gambling, but people like my uncles and my brother, they like to gamble, so they give you the spread and the prediction in articles like this. So, Michigan versus Rutgers football odds, tips, and betting trends. September 23rd, 2023. I think that's for September. Yep, that's for September 23rd, 2023. All right. So the number 2 Michigan Wolverines and the Rutgers Scarlet Knights square off on Saturday, September 23rd, 2023 at Michigan Stadium in a clash of Big Ten opponents. The Wolverines faced the Bowling Green Falcons in their last game, winning 31-6. Their last time out, the Scarlet Knights won 35-16 over the Virginia Tech Hokies. So Rutgers is going to come in with some confidence after just beating Virginia Tech by that margin. In that matchup, with the Falcons, J.J. McCarthy had 143 yards on 8 of 13 passing. That was a 61.5% completion percentage for the Wolverines, with 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Blake Corum took 12 carries for 101 yards and 2 touchdowns. Cornelius Johnson had 3 receptions for 71 yards and 1 touchdown against the Falcons. Gavin Wimsatt threw for 46 yards for the Scarlet Knights against the Hokies, going 7 for 16 with 1 touchdown and no interceptions. He added 11 carries for 87 yards and 1 touchdown. So we should look for Rutgers quarterback to scramble and to look to leave the pocket once the pressure starts to get to him. I haven't seen them play, but that's what I'm gleaning from this. Kyle Monangai carried the ball 16 times for 143 yards with 3 touchdowns. Okay, so they can run the ball. So our defense is gonna be challenged on Saturday. In the passing game, he added 1 catch for 3 yards. Christian Dramel recorded 34 yards through the air after 3 catches with 1 touchdown. The Wolverines are 26-point favorites against the Scarlet Knights. The total is 45 points. So they're predicting Michigan to win by 26. And it looks like they are predicting the point total is 45. That means that they're predicting Rutgers to score 20 points. Wait a minute. How does that work? Anyway, we'll forget about the point total. Michigan is predicted to win by 26 points. So that begs the question. So the Wolverines are predicted to win by 26 points. Based upon the previous 3 games, that begs the question, which Wolverines team are we going to see this week? Is JJ going to be back to his perfect, flawless Heisman Trophy form? Or is he going to struggle? We know that Coach Harbaugh is going to be back on the sidelines. If JJ struggles, we may see a lot more of the running game. So that's the question. Will Michigan fulfill and cover this prediction, or are we going to see something else? Now, what I will say, and then I'm going to wrap this up, is that in those previous 3 games, at least the first 2, they were looking to get their starters off the field without getting them injured. So when you're playing lesser opponents, you don't want to keep your main horses out there so as to lose them for the rest of the season or late in the season. But in this game, the starters will play the entire game. So expect to see the starters play the entire game. And so that will impact whether or not they score those 26 points or more. Realistically, well, let's see. It's going to be a more physical team. It's going to be a more skilled opponent. So let's see what happens. I think a lot is going to depend upon how JJ comes out and throws the ball. If he shrugs last week off, or if he's tentative. But it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. And we did start slow. It's not unusual for our team to start slow at home early in conference play. We saw that last year with Maryland, and we saw that the previous year against Rutgers. So what are we going to see this week? I think Michigan gets the W, but the question is how. Okay, so everyone, that's all I got. That's all I got. This was going to be a short one. Everyone, please smash that like button. I see some folks just came in. Please smash that like button. If you guys have comments or thoughts on last week's game or this week's game, I'll hang on for a few more minutes. If not, I'll wrap up. Whoever just came in, let me know who's here. If you feel so inclined. Do you guys have opinions on last week's game or this week's game? This is it. This is go time. This is this is the meat and potatoes of the season. 1 or 2 losses will drop any team out of the hunt for the college football playoff and the national title. So it's go time. And it appears to be a 3-team race in the Big Ten East. So there's us, Ohio State, and Penn State. Penn State looks pretty strong thus far. So, but only one team can come out to the Big Ten championship game. Which one will it be? All right, everyone, I'm going to wrap this stream up. I just wanted to come on really quickly and give the predicted score for this game, and also ask the question, are we the number 2 team in the country? Have we looked like it over those first 3 games? And now we get to see what we're really made of. Now we get to see what JJ and the offense and the defense are really made of. So this is going to be exciting. All right, everyone. Yeah, if you're watching on the playback, please smash that like button. That helps with the engagement. That helps me out. If you're new, also please consider subscribing to the channel. And let me know. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I like to get these out early, earlier in the week. This is going to be a busy week for me, but it's the prediction shows. It's good to get these out earlier in the week. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. Everyone, this is Big Discussion 76 Sports. My name is Dr. Anwar Yusuf Dunbar. Please like, share, and subscribe. My donation information is below in the description box. If you feel so inclined, you can leave a super thanks as well. The link to my newsletter is also in the description box. I see folks are jumping in. I originally set the stream at 8 o'clock, but I got back early. And for time purposes, there he is. We got to get this guy back in the show at some point. I know you all miss Buckeye Alex. Buckeye Alex, they miss you. Like the Celtics fans missed the Lakers when the Laker dynasty, the Showtime dynasty broke up. Kareem said, they miss us out there. Alex, they miss you. So we got to get you back up at some point when the time is right. And when you feel like it. But the link for my newsletter is in the description box. And yeah, everyone, that's all I've got. So I will talk to you later on in the week. This game should end unless it goes to multiple overtimes. Oh, Alex has jokes for Abdul Gaines and the rest of the Deion Sanders congregation. By the way, I'm actually going out there to Boulder in a couple of weeks, not for a game, unfortunately, but I will be sure to pick up if I see a Coach Prime bobblehead. I don't know if they've made those yet, but maybe I'll pick up a T-shirt or two as a collector's item. This will always be my team, but since I'm out there, you got to get something Colorado inspired. So we'll see. I think that's everything. All right, everyone. Once again, Michigan is predicted to win this game by 26 points. Ohio State has a big game this weekend as well. They match up with Marcus Freeman's Notre Dame Fighting Irish. So this is going to be a big weekend for college football. All right, everyone. I'm going to wrap this up. Go Blue. As always, remember that your attitude determines your altitude. Always try to do your best. Take care. And I will talk to you the next time. It'll be good to see Coach Harbaugh back on the sidelines. So I'll talk to you later. Have a good night. Bye-bye.